This is how you can get a vocabulary list of any text, including articles, books, YouTube transcripts, and anything really. You simply need to open the text, select the whole thing using, well, you can just manually select it, or much more efficient, you click Control A, and then once it's selected, Control C to copy it. And you come to browser link here and you paste it here. I just pasted it before I started recording. Let's see if you can guess what kind of text this is. It's a book, but let's see if you can guess which book it is. It's very easy. It's in German, but just the names in it will give you an idea. So we've got the whole book here. We click on calculate word frequency, and we get words that show up thousands of times. Und, die, der, er, sie, denn, zu, war, sich, es, ihn, das, ein, and so on and so forth. See, first one, und, which is unsurprisingly and in German, 4,835 times. But then that's the only one that appears more than 4,000 times. Then you see a bunch of them, three of them, 3,000 times, one of them 2,000 times, a bunch of them 1,000 times, and then triple digit numbers. And very quickly we get to, this is the word list. And very quickly we get to double digit numbers already here. And we'll get to single digit numbers very soon. Yeah, already here. So this, by the way, is the Game of Thrones book in German. And yes, I've read it in German as well. I've read it in Spanish first, for some reason. Then in English, the original, then German. I think I read it in Italian as well. I'm now trying to read it in Russian. I really like these books. So you see this massive amount of vocab. I don't know exactly how many words. We'll get there. So we click Control A again, and you see it selects the whole thing. So now we copy it, paste it, copy it, select it, copy it, and then we can paste it wherever we want. And what I recommend you do is go to a spreadsheet and paste it there. So then you can translate the words and you can learn them. And you can also have an idea of how many words there are. I assume there are over 20,000 individual words here. And on a spreadsheet, you can easily, you can learn them using mnemonics from, I don't recommend you use mnemonics for this. These kind of words, you learn them in context easily. But once you get to nouns and verbs, yeah, so like, what does, no, it's funny. Stark, it's a name in this series or these books, but in German, stark is also strong. Rita, for example, what is that? That's night in German. So you find something that sounds like Rita, and you associate that. It's a female name, right? So any Ritas that you know, you just visualize her being as a medieval knight, and you do that with all the vocab. I highly recommend you order them alphabetically, so you learn them in word families, words in groups of similar words, so that it's much easier to learn them all in groups. Yeah, because otherwise you're going to be seeing similar words, but slightly different variations of them. Um, Especially for verb conjugations and things like that, it's very useful to learn them in word families. But this is how you create the actual list. You select the text again. You go to the other text, like the main text you want to bring. Control A, and it does this. And copy, paste it here, calculate word frequency, and then you select it again with Control A, Control C again, or simply copy, and you paste it on a spreadsheet. And now you can order it alphabetically. And that's how you do it. If you've got language islands, if you've created your list of sentences that you want to learn, that's the first text you should do this with. You should learn all the vocab from your language islands. Apart from shadowing and doing all that, you learn the vocab. You really memorize the vocab because those words are really important, and each one of them you should learn them really well. After that, and especially if you want to get to a really high level and you want to be able to understand advanced stuff or read interesting books about the language, if you're really into the language, into the culture, let's say you want to read Russian literature or something like that, you should do this with every book you read until you are really good at reading, until you understand 99.9% of the words in the text in the book. You open a page and basically there are no unknown words there. I highly recommend you do this before you start and you go through the whole list before you start reading the actual book, because it will make it much easier and much more enjoyable to read the book if you've looked at all the vocab first. It will take more time in the beginning. You'll have to take some time before you start reading the actual book, but then the actual reading will be much faster and easier and more enjoyable because you have to stop. You don't have to stop as often to look things up, right? So yeah, that's how you do it.